Thank you for joining us at Ignite. My name is Charles Lamana, and I'm going to be covering the Power Platform. For the session today, we have a whole bunch of great content, whether you're a beginner or an expert. We have demos, we have roadmap, and exciting customer stories. But before we jump into all of that, I like to always start by explaining why we're so passionate about low-code development at Microsoft. The first reason is that we're seeing surging digital demand for all of our customers. Over the next few years, over 500 million new applications will need to be built, which is more than all the apps built in the last 40 years. Additionally, 50% of tasks done in the office and by information workers could be automated with current technology, but is going unautomated. So all of our customers are really struggling to respond to this huge wave of digital transformation that they need to go complete. And compounding that is the second reason. There's really not enough developers out there to go satisfy this demand. There's a 1 million developer shortfall in just the United States alone. And 86% of the customers we work with report struggling to hire and find the right technical talent to go lead their digital transformation. And of course, compounding these first two things is the third, which is very topical over the last 12 months, which is the great lockdown. So the COVID-19 and everything associated with that, things like over 40% of folks in the United States are currently working remote and working from home, and over a 5% worldwide contraction in GDP. This is making it so that even though there's so much digital demand, we have to find ways to do more with less and to go respond to changing business processes and changing needs that we never had to do before, things like telehealth or curbside pickup. So all of these items are coming together to cause a lot of challenges for so many of our customers. And an easy way to try to solve that may be to say, teach everybody how to code. But that's not really tractable. That's not really possible. Instead, we have to turn everyone into a developer with low-code tools. We have to make it so that no matter what your background is, you can become a developer to automate things and understand data. And when you go look at what low-code means to Microsoft, it's all about empowering every type of developer to go faster. Whether you're a business user or a citizen developer or an IT professional or IT admin or a pro developer or coder. Low-code and the Power Platform makes it so you can build digital solutions faster and go respond to all these incredible challenges that we face right now when it comes to technology in the workplace. And if you look at the Power Platform, it fits so naturally into the rest of the Microsoft Cloud. It's built on top of Azure and integrates with Azure. It's built around an extensibility model for M365 and Office 365. So all the great Microsoft technologies you already use can seamlessly be extended and enriched with the Power Platform, with these low-code development capabilities. And if we look at the Power Platform, there's 4 products that make it up. The first is Power BI, second is Power Apps, third is Power Automate, and the fourth is Power Virtual Agent. And if you look at Power BI, it's a low-code way to analyze and explore and understand all of your enterprise data. It makes it so you can have a data-driven culture where everybody can understand and get intelligence from the data you already collect as an enterprise. If we look at Power Apps, it's a low-code way to go build web and mobile applications. If you know how to use PowerPoint and Excel, then you can use Power Apps to go build out your solutions. And these solutions can connect to over 400 different systems. So no matter what your IT landscape looks like today, you can enrich it and improve it with Power Apps. The third is Power Automate, which is a low-code way to do workflow automation and robotic process automation. So the same hundreds of data connectors, as well as UI automation that you heard for Power Apps, applies to Power Automate as well. So no matter what you use today, what systems of record you have, what lines of business you have, you can go drive a ton of efficiency through automation. And last but not least is Power Virtual Agent. It's a low-code way to go build chatbots and conversational agents. So you don't need to have a computer science degree or be a data scientist or a PhD in machine learning, but you can go build out these chatbots just by providing examples and doing control flow, and we take care of the rest. So across all 4 of these products, we're squarely focused on making it so anybody can be a developer and you can move a whole heck of a lot faster. And if we look at what we've seen, so many customers have started to adopt this technology across industries, across different parts of the globe, large, medium, and small. We have 86% of the Fortune 500 using Power Apps today, and over 97% of the Fortune 500 using the Power Platform, all using these capabilities to empower their employees, their IT organization, and their coders to develop faster. And for the first announcement of today's session, I'm very excited about what it means in terms of empowering everybody to use the Power Platform, is that we're now going to include Power Automate Desktop with Windows. That means you can do personal robotic process automation with your Windows license. It's available for download free today, making it so you can go improve your productivity, go automate those repetitive tasks that you hate to do each and every day. And it's incredibly easy to get started. It's built in a way where if you know how to use things like a macro recorder or just even to do clicks on a browser or Windows applications, you can record that and play it back so that you can have incredibly streamlined processes while at work. And to really show this in action, I want to play a video. So let's take it away.
Microsoft streamlines your daily tasks with Power Automate Desktop, the automation tool that's a part of Windows. With a few clicks, you can streamline highly repetitive manual tasks like sending a batch of individualized emails. Let's say you have an Excel sheet with a few email addresses and tailored greetings. That's a breeze for Power Automate to record in Outlook. Once all the actions are logged in a desktop flow, edit, and make any changes you want. Now the app knows exactly what you want it to do. Click Run, and it's done. Power Automate Desktop gets to work. From simple tasks like this to highly complex enterprise-wide processes, Power Automate streamlines repetitive tasks so you can focus your attention where it's needed most. Take care of what's important. Automate the rest.
And I really like that video because it just shows the power of Power Automate Desktop and Windows together. But it's not just about Windows. Power Platform also is seamlessly integrated with Microsoft Teams. And we're really committed to make it so that Power Platform and Teams are better together so that you can go use these low-code tools to transform your business processes, to understand your data and automate tasks all from right inside of Microsoft Teams. And that's why for every single Power Platform product, we have a first-class, rich Microsoft Teams integration experience. And it's something that we've improved over the last few months and are really committed to continue improving over the next 6 months. If you look at Power Apps, we now have the complete Power Apps authoring studio embedded inside of Microsoft Teams, where you can now use Data First for Teams to create your data model and your backend system, and then use the Power Apps Visual Designer to create your applications and to go connect business logic and security on top of it. So that you can go build a Teams native experience without ever having to leave that Teams surface area. And that type of integration is what we're committed to across the board. If you look at Power Automate, it's the same type of thing. You can go build workflows and automations right from the Power Automate application inside of Microsoft Teams in the Teams store today. You can trigger off of Teams events or trigger off events in other systems or other backends or other databases and go integrate seamlessly by posting messages or responding to interaction through adaptive cards right inside of Microsoft Teams. With apps and Automate, you really can start to reimagine your business processes and what it means in a remote work environment, in an environment where people are collaborating and working together inside of Teams each and every day. And last but not least is Power Virtual Agent, which makes it easy to build chatbots, and no better place to go integrate those chatbots to engage your employees than inside of Microsoft Teams. Bring a bot to a channel, or have a bot that sends messages, or build a personal bot that people can use to go explore important employee information. Power Virtual Agent has the full authoring environment and the full publishing environment entirely inside of Microsoft Teams. And that's really what we're committed to doing, is making it so that if you want to go enrich and customize Teams to be just the way you want it as an enterprise, Power Platform is the easiest way to do that with a low-code capability. And for all of these types of features, one of my favorite ways to explore them is to go look at how a customer uses them. So I'm going to roll a quick video from the Office Depot about how the Power Platform in Teams changed the way that they do business.
With the COVID-19 experience, we worked from home starting in March, and we were on Teams all the time. So I felt it was time to bring some of the apps to Teams. I set up a development platform in Teams where I develop all my apps. We're trying to work very lean and efficient. By building our applications on the Power Platform in Teams, it helps us collaborate a lot better. It also helps us save money over having to contract third-party vendors to create applications for us or to license third-party apps. Creating them in-house very quickly on the Power Platform, it's low code. Sometimes even the departments create them themselves with guidance from our department. They get the things delivered quickly and efficiently and for a lot less money, saving the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. For example, the payroll action form was a faxed process. And we have a lot of stores, and if an employee's time card didn't match up and they had to do a quick fix before paycheck time, and in some states, there's regulatory penalties if you don't do it within a time period. Getting those faxes signed off was very difficult for the user, a lot of man hours. So we developed an application that did this for them. It helped workflow notify people that they have approvals to do, and we're able to push this app out to all the stores. That saved us a lot regulatory-wise, and it solved the problem in man hours. We work with the business partners to collaborate, test, use all of the software development lifecycle in Teams, and then we deploy the app. Now with Project Oakdale in Teams, I see endless possibilities.
And Office Depot, like so many other customers, have embraced the Power Platform to really transform all parts of their business and to go respond to the COVID-19 crisis. And although the Power Platform makes it so easy through Teams, through Windows, and so many other places to go build out these solutions, we also care deeply about making it secure, compliant, and controllable from an IT administrator perspective. And that's why we're very focused on building the world's best hyperscale enterprise-grade platform out there. And that all starts by providing rich governance controls. So we have built-in data loss prevention policies, things like activity logs and the Microsoft 365 Admin Center integration. So all the capabilities that you're used to from a Microsoft Cloud point of view work with the Power Platform. Additionally, we have dozens of certifications and are hosted in dozens of data centers around the globe, so you can easily be compliant with all the things required for highly regulated industries like financial services or healthcare, or as well as government requirements if you're a public sector. Additionally, although we make it very easy to build solutions in the Power Platform, we also care about making it easy to build secure solutions in the Power Platform. So everything that you create is secure by design, integrates with Azure Active Directory, integrates with customer managed keys and customer lockbox and all the other stuff that you need to really have an enterprise-grade secure solution on the Power Platform. And lastly, we have no standing access to your data that's hosted inside a Power Platform. The data is yours, it's managed and exportable in an open format for all of our customers. And if we look at some of the new announcements that we have a bunch of great new capabilities that we're sharing today. The first is endpoint filtering for data loss prevention policies. It's now possible to restrict connectors from particular endpoints based on IP address or fully qualified domain name so that you can grant access to, say, the SQL connector, but restrict it to only a subset of servers or to IP ranges that you approve centrally. And this more granular control unlocks so much adoption for many of our customers because you don't just have to turn a connector on and off, but instead can turn it on with restrictions. And that's one of the big focuses that we've had, is to make it so that even though you want to go embrace all these new data sources and all this citizen development, but you can do it in a way that's controlled and manageable. In addition to the endpoint filtering, we also now have filtering at the connector action level. This makes it so that you don't have to block an entire connector at once, but instead can allow and deny individual actions on that connector. So for example, with the Twitter connector, you could choose to allow all read-only operations, but to block all write operations. Additionally, we now have tenant isolation capabilities, so you can manage which other Azure Active Directory tenants can connect to and integrate with your environment and your organization. This is really key for so many of our customers which have a highly federated Azure Active Directory environment based on mergers or acquisitions or just loosely federated companies. Or if you want to go make sure you work with a partner and only trust that partner to connect to the Power Platform. This makes it so that you can go build these partnerships and integrations without having to go open up the Power Platform to all other tenants out there. And again, just this consistent theme that we have a bunch of controls, we just keep adding more and more granular access. And to top it all off, we also have a whole bunch of new reporting capabilities built into the Power Platform Admin Center. Because everything runs in the cloud, you can see every app, every bot, every dashboard, everything that's being built in your tenant, and you can understand its usage and what it connects to and any potential risks. This reporting makes it straightforward and easy to go build things like a center of excellence and go manage how all of your employees are going to leverage a tool like the Power Platform. And across all these capabilities, one of the best ways to really see them in action is through a demo. So I'm going to invite Julie Strauss to go walk through the story of Unilever and how they've used all these brand new capabilities to go empower citizen developers, securely.
Thank you, Charles. We have been working with Unilever, a multinational consumer goods company, through their journey of adopting Power Platform. Unilever started using the Power Platform to deliver on their vision to optimize productivity through collaboration. And they now have more than 3,000 apps and flows and thousands of makers. So naturally, striking the balance between productivity and governance is critical for them. So I'm excited to share with you how Unilever is envisioning that they can boost their productivity as we light up these new capabilities. First up is connector action controls, which is one of my favorite features. I am here in the Unified Power Platform Admin Center, and I've set up a data loss prevention policy already for the marketing department who has their own environment. And for those of you who may be new to the Power Platform, data loss prevention policies are used to manage access and usage of external data sources when building apps and flows. We have 3 categories that you can use to classify connectors. Business, which is for connectors accessing sensitive data. We have non-business, which is for accessing non-sensitive data and are not intended to connect with business data. Last, we have blocked, which really means that no apps or flows can use these connectors in this particular environment. And here we find the Twitter connector, which the Unilever's marketing team isn't really using. I like to use Twitter, though, as an example for connector action controls, as Twitter is a data source that can deliver impactful signals to a marketing department in terms of product sentiment. Yet, it tends to be blocked, as very often it creates discomfort with IT, who needs to make sure that no one accidentally push company data to a public service like Twitter. Let's see how we can alleviate some pain here. I'll select the Twitter control, then click on Configure Connector. I choose Connector Actions. This shows you the type of connector actions that I can allow or disallow. We have both read and write actions, and naturally it's the write actions that has the risk of leaking company data. So I can simply block these 2 write actions, tweet and retweet. And by doing this, I can essentially eliminate the risk and turn this into a safe read-only connector using these very simple radio buttons. Now, as an IT admin at Unilever, I should feel pretty comfortable moving this connector from blocked into business. Endpoint filtering is another capability that Unilever is super excited to light up in their tenant. Let's use the same marketing policy to showcase how Unilever can use this capability. I will navigate to the business category, where this time I will find the SQL Server connector. Unilever hosts a wealth of business-critical data for the marketing department in SQL Server. However, they also have SQL servers, for example, with internal operations data or even finance data with sensitive information that they do not want users to access when building apps from this environment. With the new endpoint filtering, Unilever can become very explicit about which instances of, for example, SQL Server that users can connect to. In this case, we want to make sure that users explicitly are blocked from accessing the operations database when working with marketing data. So we'll simply block that endpoint. I will select the SQL connector. I will choose endpoint filtering. Then I will add the instance of SQL Server database that hosts the operations data. Now let's go to Power Automate and test that the access will be denied when building a flow invoking the specific instance of SQL Server. I will simply add the SQL connector. I will add the action to insert a row to trigger the action. I will select the SQL Server, the database, and the facilities table. Now what you can see is that the flow is saved, meaning that I'm not losing any work, but I'm getting notified that the flow cannot run as it violates one of my data loss prevention policies. Exactly what we want. Super simple, super powerful. You've now seen how these powerful controls will allow Unilever to set up proactive strategy for how to better manage risk. But we are not done. The IT department at Unilever relies heavily on our out-of-box analytics for gaining visibility into the usage and the health of assets created across Dataverse, Power Automate, and Power Apps. Let's take a look at how the IT department at Unilever can leverage our out-of-box analytics to allow for growth and innovation, yet keep a close eye on apps and flow creation on that journey. Taking a look at Power Automate, you can see how the Unilever IT department seamlessly have visibility into flow runs. You can look at daily, weekly, and monthly trends. I can also see how flows are being shared, as well as which connectors are being used across different flows. The latter is a capability that is super important in context of the data loss prevention policies we just walked through, as these views will give Unilever the ability to identify which connectors they need to pay more close attention to. Taking a look at Power Apps, you will see a slightly different view. So this is really just optimized for the need to monitoring apps. You can see toast errors as well as location. Each of these analytic views are available for every environment in your tenant. So you can apply filters over here and pick any environment you want. However, coming back to Unilever, that is using the Power Platform at scale, as the adoption grows along with the normal environment in the tenant, so does the desire to monitor the full inventory of the tenant spanning environment in a single view. To that end, I am thrilled to be able to give you a sneak peek of the new out-of-box tenant-wide analytics for Power Apps and Power Automate that Charles covered earlier. These tenant-wide views will add a completely new dimension to Unilever's monitoring abilities. Here they will be able to see the number of unique users in the tenant. They can see net new users, apps being used, as well as the total number of environments. But more importantly, they can see top apps by the number of users. Put simply, the Unilever team can quickly spot apps with accelerated growth. And they can very easily put additional guardrails around these high-performing apps or simply move them into a dedicated environment for fully managed application lifecycle as needed. For large organizations such as Unilever, these analytics will become essential to understand the full scope and activity across the entire tenant, reducing the time spent to monitor each environment separately. In working with Unilever, we feel very confident that they, along with other enterprises, will benefit significantly from these new enhancements across both the more granular data loss prevention policies as well as these new tenant-wide analytical views. Not only are we further strengthening the foundation of the Power Platform, but we are investing in capabilities that customers have been asking for. With that, I will hand it back to you, Charles.
Thank you, Julie. That was great. Really appreciate the outstanding demo. And in addition to what we just showed, which is shipping right now, I also want to share some exciting news about what's coming soon. We want to announce that Microsoft Information Protection will be coming to Dataverse in the Power Platform. So we'll be able to label your data based on sensitivity like high business impact or low business impact, and that this label will flow with the data as it moves through the Power Platform into M365 and also to Azure, all seamlessly integrated with one Microsoft story for data labeling and data security. And this is one of the big features that we've heard from customers as a top requirement, because it makes it easy to secure your data at its root and at its source, as opposed to managing at the application or workflow level. And in addition to the capabilities that we've shown for IT admins and governance, I do want to spend some time to really hit the point that Power Platform cares deeply about developers and coders. So I know a lot of the stories like from Office Depot or other ones are about business users, but we're also committed to making sure that Power Platform, together with our other pro developer capabilities at Microsoft, really have no limits and enable any kind of rapid modern application development without having to compromise. And that means things like Power Apps connecting seamlessly to Azure API management to leverage all your microservices and backend systems, or Power BI to go connect to Azure Synapse so you can run queries over trillions of rows at a time. No matter where you start or where you end up, you can actually leverage low-code capabilities in Power Platform together with those dev tools and coding tools that you're used to. Things like GitHub support, continuous integration, continuous deployment. We announced that last Ignite, as well as additional support for Visual Studio to build APIs or custom visuals or custom controls. So if you're a developer in the Microsoft ecosystem, you really want to check out what the Power Platform means for you. And in terms of capabilities coming later this year, one of the things that we're very excited about is the virtual network and Azure networking connectivity that we're going to release. This will make it so that you can go connect from the Power Platform into your Azure Virtual Network, leverage things like ExpressRoute or gateways. So all of your investments for networking with Microsoft will carry over seamlessly to the Power Platform. And that way you don't have to compromise when moving to low code when it comes to networking security. And we know that this is something that we've heard repeatedly from our customers as incredibly key. Additionally, we're going to ship later this year, the ability to go do customer managed keys. Today, you could do that via API or PowerShell. We're going to have a first-class user interface experience where you can easily go configure keys from your Azure Key Vault to be used to encrypt inside of Dataverse or other Power Platform offerings. And this is what unlocks so much highly confidential and highly regulated computing requirements inside of the Power Platform. And in addition to all of this, another one of the big announcements that we're happy to share today at Ignite is PowerFX. PowerFX is part of our commitment to go reach developers with the Power Platform and part of our commitment to be open when it comes to the Power Platform. PowerFX is our open source language for low-code programming. So that same expression bar that you're used to inside of Power Apps, you can now use that in your own developed projects. And you can also use that syntax in your own file formats or other styles. And as part of that, we also have a new file format to describe the Power Apps applications themselves. And it's YAML-based, so you can actually check in this file directly into source control. So between these formulas and between the YAML support, you can really start to embrace what a developer knows and loves, which is configuration files and programming languages, which you can use inside of a source control-driven environment. And we're going to keep expanding PowerFX throughout the entire Power Platform. In this summer, we're going to have model-driven application support, as well as Dataverse plugins, which can run this PowerFX formula language, so that no matter where you are in the Power Platform, you can always confidently go drop into this expression language. Additionally, by the end of this year, we're going to have Dataverse calculated fields, as well as AI Builder data prep, and Power Virtual Agents, string manipulation and variable assignment using PowerFX. So not only is this available to our community and to other developers out there, it's also going to show up throughout the entire Power Platform and more. So I recommend checking that out. It's one of our big announcements at Ignite when it comes to the Power Platform. And for the last announcement I really want to share today, it's about the GA of Direct Query for Dataverse inside of Power BI. This is built on top of the T-SQL or TDS endpoint for Dataverse, so that you can now honor security and also get real-time data views inside of Power BI when using Dataverse. And this is just another great reason why Dataverse is a key component of any enterprise data strategy, particularly when it comes to line of business applications and line of business process. And I know we've covered a whole bunch of announcements, a whole bunch of coming soons, and a great demo, but I also want to talk about really where are we going next with the Power Platform. And there's 5 main areas that we're going to be focused on for the rest of the year. The first is our continued theme of enterprise trust, making it easy to be secure, compliant, and governable with the Power Platform to empower democratized digitization without compromising on security. The second is we're going to bring artificial intelligence everywhere inside the Power Platform. This means AI-assisted development, as well as leveraging AI Builder models seamlessly from inside the Power Platform. The third is to go embrace remote work. And this really is about enhancing the Power Platforms and Teams integration. So it's easy for you to go leverage and interact with business process or data directly from inside of Teams. The fourth is this idea of fusion teams. So bringing together developers, IT professionals, and business users on a single project, each collaborating with one another to go build amazing transformative solutions. And we think this is one of the biggest sea changes that are going to come from low-code development like the Power Platform. And last is hyperautomation. This idea that 50% of information in office work could be automated with current AI technology and current robotic process automation technology. We want to make it easy for everybody to do that and go reclaim that time, be more efficient, and go embrace faster end-to-end business processes that are more effective and deliver better experiences to customers and employees. So if that sounds interesting, what we've covered today, I say please go explore and test out and try out the Power Platform. It's very easy to get started. No credit card required. You can have your first app in an afternoon. You can go explore your first data set in an afternoon. You can automate your first task in an afternoon. That's the best way to go figure out what Power Platform could mean to you and where you work. And I'd say we also love to hear from the community. So I'd say go check out our online digital community, share ideas, post questions, and so on. And also, I would say there's a bunch of other amazing sessions at Ignite about the Power Platform. Check them out. We have a great Power BI session from Arun Ulag and a whole bunch more of great deep dives about the Power Platform. So thank you so much for the time. I look forward to seeing you again.